that, then they might change directions. So what I do is I take them off when I get to the stand. Now I know that no matter where I move on my stand, I'm going to be quiet. Now here we have a very open forest. My strategy here is to find gaps, bigger gaps in between the trees. So I look for these shooting corridors and I memorize them. So when the boar come, I know about when the best time is to start shooting. With an open forest like this, I like to have the possibility to sit down. In my eyes, 3 different tactics to use. If you have a stationary target at, let's say, 100 meters, then I always like to have 3 points where I rest my arms. And one would be my right elbow. The left hand is on the other rest. And that will give you an incredibly steady shot at a standing boar. If the boar is moving slightly, then you have to get out of this because you're locked in and you can't move your rifle. So then I take my elbow off and I just rest it against the piece of wood here, because that makes me much more agile in my movement. And if the boar is moving fast, I completely let go of my right elbow and I just use my left hand and my body to move the rifle. Now, this only works at quite far distances because the angle of your barrel movement will be quite small. When the boar comes closer, it doesn't work because the rifle has to be swung much further. And then it's good to get up. Now, when you get up or when you sit down is completely up to you. I don't have a rule. For me, it just happens when I see the boar. My body tells me what to do. But I guess that's down to just having the chance to have been doing it for quite a while. So I think it's best to practice it at target ranges or shooting cinemas or things like that. The angle of your barrel movement will be much more from left to right. So in that case, you really have to get up to get the full agility that you need to swing through the boar. Another important thing to remember is that for me the hunt starts when I get out of the car, not when I hear the beaters start, because there might be boar close by in a thicket and they can hear everything. They're orientating themselves where the guns are being placed, where the cars are going, and very often they will start moving before the beaters actually start moving. So it's crucial to be incredibly quiet and silent when you're loading your rifle. Talk in a silent voice and just move very, very quietly before the drive even starts. The best is not even to move around a lot. I'm moving around a lot because I'm talking. But usually I would be sitting down and I would be very quiet and just trying to see exactly what's going on and listening to what's going on. Because you will see often that the boar and red deer or whatever you're hunting will move without the beaters actually pushing them, but they move because they can hear the cars. I'm sitting down, I have the rifle in my hands, and if I can see the boar coming from quite far away, I won't move. I'm just gonna look at the boar and I'm gonna think, where is it gonna go? And at what time am I gonna get up and what am I going to do? So I look at the boar, I try and sex it, and I also try and size it. Then if I think it's the boar that I want to shoot, I let it come. And when it's, for example, behind a big tree, and we have a lot of trees, I'll slowly rise up. And I'll position my feet into the section where I want to shoot it. So maybe the boar is coming from over there, but I want to shoot it here. I will position my feet into that direction, and then I will turn, and I will look at the boar, and I will watch it, and when it gets into that section, again, hopefully when it's behind a tree so it doesn't see me, I'll pick up the rifle, I'll swing, and I'll shoot. Now, why do I do that? Firstly, if I put up the rifle too early and I have to hold it for a long time, because it's quite heavy. So the less time that the rifle is in your shoulder, the better you're going to shoot. Now, the other thing is that even if a boar is running full speed and you get up in a very hectic way, he will see you and he will turn on you, and then it will become very difficult to place a good shot. So even when they are running full speed, you really have to move in very sort of flowy movements, no hectic movements. You don't want to be getting up like this. You don't want to see the boar and do this. You know, they are going to see you and they're going to turn. So ideally, we will have a boar trotting slowly towards us. If that happens, it's really important. It's really important to do very, very slow movements, because we're not here to shoot the fastest boar. We're here to shoot to kill instantly. And how do we do that? Is by trying to be unrecognized before we take the shot. That is rule number one when we're hunting, no matter what hunting we do. And it's the same with driven hunting. So, when I have a boar coming, ideally, he wouldn't have seen me before I take the shot. So actually, driven hunting is not only about having boar come flying past you. If they always come running very fast on your stand, then maybe you're doing something wrong. Because actually, you should be shooting standing and trolling animals. Trolling, I mean, sort of half running animals. That would be the ideal, because the possibility of you placing a perfect shot is much higher than if they're running fast. So it's really all about the way you handle yourself on your stand. Of course, sometimes if the boar come with dogs behind them or the beaters have just pushed them out, they will be fast. But even then, it's important that they don't see you. So very calm movements. Think about when you're gonna get up, how you're going to do it. Look at where the biggest trees are, and when the boar is behind that big tree, then you move, because it won't be able to see you. If the way you handle yourself on the stand is not quite right, you are going to miss a lot of chances, because the animals see you and they turn around, or they go left and right or whatever. So it's really important the shot, or that the shooting of the wild boar happens way before you pull the trigger. Before that, you're hunting. And when you're hunting, you should be quiet and unrecognized, even on the driven shoot.
Olivia and her guide Christian enjoy the sight of this young red stag.
That's great. Look at that.
After the stag disappeared, something very unusual happens.
Okay, they're coming to my left.
A large sounder of wild boars are approaching over a broad front. Maybe the stag caused the sound to split up because it's very unusual.
Which ones?
Normally the boars arrive like beads on a string. Olivia gets so many chances that it's difficult to choose, and even a seasoned boar hunter can be confused by such an experience. Incredibly, the sounder splits up to the right and left of Olivia. Although Olivia is a beginner hunting driven game, she actually manages quite well here, where one easily could be confused and distracted by the numerous but far from easy chances that suddenly arose.
The boars just came flying over this hill, and then they saw me and they split, and so I had to make a quick decision. Okay, which way do I go? Which way do I go? So I chose to shoot on the right. Of course, we're looking for the Riesling. I know I hit two here, and I know I hit one here. But it's just so confusing when they split like that. Okay, where do I go? Very exciting. They were right on top of me. My heart's really racing right now.
This morning's instructions allowed the 5 hunters to leave their post and approach the killed game after the drive is over.
We just heard the horn, and we're going to approach the big boar first. And just to be safe, I think he's down and 99% sure. But you never know. So no matter how big the boar is, even if it's just a small one, I always like to load my gun while I'm approaching them. And it's just very important because when you get, after you then see that they're down, when you approach them, then it's sometimes important to really remember to unload your rifle again, because you can get so excited about everything that then sometimes you kind of forget about it. So when you do arrive at the boar and he's down, start really unload immediately again. Judging by the body size, he's well over 100 kilos. He's maybe a little smaller than what I thought when I first saw him. Age-wise, I would say he's about a 4-year-old, but he's still strong-bodied. You know, he's got a fairly big frame, but you can see under these oak trees he's really had a lot of food this year. So really nice animal to start a new season with, and I'm very happy about how it all went.
For mig ligner det noget... Ja, 100... 200 kilo. Ja.
225 kilo.
Ja. Det lignede også en bjørn. I Sverige skyder man brunbjørn på 200 kilo, men her skyder vi vildsvin på 200 kilo. Hold derop. Det er velorganiseret jagt. Jeg kan se, at de er meget begejstrede, så alle driverne, og at det lykkes også at få en af de kæmpe kejler i området på det allerførste drev. Spændt at høre, hvad de andre har set. De har hørt en del skud.
According to tradition, the leader of the hunt, Mr. Pampel Varga, will present the hunter with a twig dipped in the kylo's blood as a symbol of the animal's last meal. However, Jens is so excited by his trophy boar that his answer to the congratulation is completely wrong. Jens answers Weidmannsheil instead of the correct Weidmannsdank, without even realizing this. When you have a wild boar fever, it's easy to forget the etiquette for a moment. Selective shooting during driven hunts is quite demanding of the hunter's ethics and skills of judgment, and accordingly, Christopher lowers his rifle here. There will be plenty of fantastic experiences and exciting chances to come. Romania has a wide variety of hunting game, from chamois in the mountains to deer, bear, and wild boar in the enormous deciduous forested areas, and many more wonderful hunting experiences awaiting in the beautiful Romanian autumn weather. Nice weather will almost always improve the results of a hunt, and especially when hunting driven boar where the visibility and responsiveness are of paramount importance for the result.
Good luck.
The hunters are led to their posts and load their rifles to be ready. Every hunter is carefully instructed in the plan for the drive, and if necessary, they are naturally instructed in the directions where they are not allowed to shoot, for safety reasons.
Slower, allowing me a chance to take a nice, perfect shot.
Jens, erste treiben.
Ja,
Kommt so.
ja,
Und zweite dann.
kom så. Ja.
So. Auf gar keinen Fall hier schießen.
Because there's going to be a lot of boars coming into Mom.
As soon as Olivia is on her post, 2 roe deer arrive. Let's hope this is a good omen. As quiet as possible, Franz loads his Merkel Helix with a spacious magazine before adjusting the intensity of light in his aim point so it suits the conditions here. Soon the shouts from the beaters can be heard, and the first wild boars appear between the trees. In the bright weather, with the dry leaves on the forest floor, you can hear the game approaching from far away, but you must still keep very vigilant. Wild boar has a tendency to appear where you expect it least.
Okay, there's a bunch of something coming in. Oh yeah, there's a big pig. Holy crap. Just be ready. It's all by itself. Are you ready? I'm just gonna let it come in. Oh shit, it's behind the tree. So exciting.
When you see the film in slow motion, it's obvious how Olivia with her 764 places the twin-core bullet perfectly and drops the Kyler on the spot. The bullet passes the Kyler's body and hits the ground behind it. The rear part of the bullet has a lead core with a jacket in front, which ensures that it completely penetrates even the largest bores.
That when a group of boar come with small fishlings, they don't want us to shoot them because they're too small. So what we're really waiting for are bigger boar, especially the big Kylers. They have Kylers up to 300 kilos here or more. And that is really, we want to find one of those 8 to 10 year old wild boar. But what I'm really hoping to see is one of those big old male boars, because they don't get much bigger than what they do here. Those big male bulls also rarely get attacked by the wolves or the bears because they're equal, and they can do a huge amount of damage to a pack of wolves if they try and take him down. Something coming.
Notice how France constantly is attentive to the surroundings, even when explaining something to us. This row is not the only animal in the forest. Now we're going to see France in action.
I can take number 2.
Okay. Yes.
Way to go. This cannot be bettered.
That was a big guy. Full speed down the hill. And I think he saw us. Maybe he smelled us because our wind is going slightly up. And he turned and he went full speed through the trees. Because I have both eyes open, I could see where the gap is coming. And when I was in the gap, I just pulled through. And the shot fired maybe 10 centimeters in front of the head. And I think it looks like it worked.
Like a jack-in-the-box, the great Kyler comes running unexpectedly.
We were just packing up already. The beaters are very close. And I went against my own rule of being concentrated to the last second, because I always say in the last second you might see a Kyler because they don't run that fast in front of the beaters. And sure enough, I had my gun down. Suddenly, maybe 50 meters in front of us, on the horizon, the Kyler appears and comes running fast towards us. I mean, couldn't be more beautiful. And I think he's a nice Kyler. I could see the top part of the teeth, they've been nicely worn down. He's definitely a 5-year or older Kyler. Amazing. Body size, I think he's maybe 150 kilos, which is huge for what I'm used to. Here it's not that big, but they also say that some of the old Kylers go down in body size. Amazing. Really amazing. Now it really is the end of the drive. The beaters are at our stand, so I'm going to unload my rifle.
The placement of the shot is of the best Franz Albrecht quality, right below the base of the ear, resulting in an instant kill. This boar never heard the shot.
This was the Kyler right at the end of the drive when I had nearly packed up. What a shame it would have been if I had missed the chance to get my rifle up. He's really a nice old boar. You can see he's quite short, but he's wide, very wide, and also he's got his top teeth already bending in. So like I said, I would judge him to about a 5-year-old. They say that the Kylers here, they go up to about 10 years, but I still think it's perfect to take him. Wonderful animal, really wonderful. You can see he's just been in a mud bath, and they're just so tough. Such tough animals, especially on the front side of their legs here on the shoulder, because when they fight each other, this is what they use to hook themselves on their teeth. So he's about 150 kilos as he is right here. If dressed weight, I would put him at about 120. He's very compact, but quite high.
De er mindst lige så begejstrede, som jeg er for at skyde sådan en kejler her.
It is lunchtime, and the 5 hunters are busy telling each other about the fantastic experiences they've had all this morning. The lunch is a very rich and hot bowl of soup that tastes great and is very becoming. The Romanians really know how to make soup, and the weather only makes the day even greater.
Thank you very much.
The Romanians are very hospitable and obviously